Okay, so to begin today's video, I do want to mention one thing, that this is basically the story where you have Johnathan Hickman tell us that everything is about to go down. Like before this video right here, he was kind of world building, telling us what to come down the road for the Avengers and the Illuminati. But right now, this book right here is him saying, we're about to see the Avengers and the Illuminati fight against each other very soon. And you see what I mean as we go through this video right here. Because we actually pick up with Maria Hill. Now Maria Hill at this point in Marvel Comics, she is the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. But of course, Nick Fury is no longer there. But either way though, Maria Hill has been called into a specific area. Now at first, we have no idea why she was called to this area. But of course, once she gets there, she goes through the building, the tent, whatever, and walks into the room. Well, that is the moment she finds a dead body. And that dead body is Hank Pym, aka the original Ant-Man. And now the big question is, how in the world did Ant-Man die? Who killed him? Why was he killed? What in the world is going on? Now we do jump back in time 4 hours ago, and we actually pick up with Advanced Idea Mechanics, better known as AIM. AIM is one of the many organizations in Marvel Comics. With that being said though, right now we do pick up with them studying the multiverse. They are basically finding a way to explore the multiverse and bring different things from the multiverse into the main Marvel universe. Now that is huge because right now it is AIM about to learn, matter of fact, they do learn that the multiverse is dying. We know that already. We already know the multiverse is dying because the map makers and the incursions and the Black Priests, that the multiverse is dying. Now, of course, AIM now knows that, but either way, with their new machine, they were able to bring something from a different universe into the main Marvel universe. And of course, what they do bring is a group of Avengers from a different universe. Now, this group of the Avengers, they look like the original Avengers, but of course, there is something else different about them. Now, another thing about this Avengers group is look at them. They're in the classic Avengers outfit, but on top of that, their tech is not as advanced as today's Avengers team in the modern main Marvel DC universe. Now, there's other things about this Avengers group that we're going to learn about, but this is the moment you have Advanced Idea Mechanics tell this Avengers team that basically they're on Earth, and this group of heroes are kind of like, that's not possible. How in the world are we on Earth? And that right there is very, very important. And you'll see why here very soon. But of course, with this Avengers team learning that they're on Earth, they can't believe that. And so you have Thor use his ability to teleport so that this group of Avengers are able to explore the main Marvel Universe Earth. And this is where we learn a tad bit more about this Avengers group from an alternate universe. Because you do have this other Avengers group go to New York. Of course, New York is always the main place to go. But of course, when they get there, they realize that this Earth is still alive. That right there is very important because let's not forget, the multiverse is dying. This Avengers group was pulled at the very last second before they had died with their Earth, because their Earth was right in the middle of an incursion. Two Earths about to crash into one another, which basically means both Earth's universes die with them. And so that means this Avengers group was right in the middle of an incursion. On top of that, this is the first moment for this team to learn that there is a multiverse. They had no idea about the multiverse. The Iron Man of this group says, yeah, we're basically in another universe. This is an alternate universe. We're part of a multiverse. And that right there is huge for this Avengers team. On top of that, we also learned that this Avengers team is basically evil. On their Earth, they rule that Earth. Because as soon as a bunch of innocent people begin to surround this Avengers group, Thor thinks they should bend down and basically praise them. And you have Thor kind of like, let me show you why you should praise me. And he used his power to kill off a bunch of people in New York, just like that. And you're kind of like, okay, so basically now we have an evil Avengers team. Where's the good Avengers team? But getting back in the present day, let's not forget, Maria Hill did find the dead body of Ant-Man. And so she called in the main Marvel Universe Avengers. Because right now she's kind of like, listen, I have a dead Ant-Man here. Hank Pym, he is dead. How in the world is that possible? On top of that as well, let's not forget here that we just got word that the Avengers just attacked New York, because S.H.I.E.L.D. nor the Avengers have no idea that one, AIM is right now exploring the multiverse, and two, they brought in another Avengers group from a different universe. And so right now it's Maria Hill wondering, did you guys attack New York, and why is Hank Pym dead? Now, when we jump into the second chapter of this book, we actually pick up with Advanced Idea Mechanics, but a month ago. And right now we see them collecting samples of the Avengers. Now, these samples are actually going to be very important for a very special reason. The reason why I say that is because we do jump forward 1 week. So right now we're 3 weeks in the past from the present day. And we pick up with Advanced Idea Mechanics basically making new version of the Adaptoids. The Adaptoids are really just robots that are able to use the abilities of the Avengers. But of course, this group of Adaptoids were not made to fight against the Avengers. Instead, they were made to actually explore the multiverse. And so you do have Advanced Idea Mechanics send these robots into the multiverse to bring things to them, but to also study the multiverse as well. But these Adaptoids are going to be very important for later stories. Now we do pick up with that other Avengers team from the different universe. And of course, we're still in the past, so we're only 3 hours from the present day. But with that being said though, we do pick up with this other Avengers team just wreaking havoc across the city of New York. They're basically bad guys. But of course, that is the moment you have Advanced Idea Mechanics send in their Adaptoids. Now originally, the Adaptoids were only made to explore the multiverse. But of course, this right here is their field test to see if they are capable to go out into the multiverse to fight against different things that could possibly cause them harm. And so this is their field test. But on top of that, AIM wants to go ahead and remove the other Avengers team before more eyes begin to look at AIM, because AIM does not want the world to know, not S.H.I.E.L.D. especially, not to know that they are exploring the multiverse. That right there needs to be top secret. And so with this other Avengers team that was pulled into our universe by AIM, of course, with them wrecking New York, it's going to bring a lot of heat on AIM. And so they do send in the Adaptoids to hopefully bring in the other Avengers team. The problem is though, of course, it is a big battle, and you have the Adaptoids being able to use their different Avengers powers to fight against this other Avengers team. But here comes the big thing though, the biggest part of all. Ant-Man of this Avengers group dies. He dies by the hands of the Adaptoids. On top of that, the Hulk on this team, he's not there to be part of the team. He's being controlled by Ant-Man and also the Wasp, because there's something in his brain, in Bruce Banner's brain from this alternate universe, where they're able to turn him into the Hulk. Now, we're going to explore more of that down the road, but either way, we just learned something very important about this Hulk and also why in the world is there a dead Ant-Man 4? Because the Adaptoids had killed the other universe Ant-Man, and then the rest of these Avengers left to go hide for the time being, and you have the Adaptoids go back to AIM Island. But getting back to the present day, we actually do pick up with Maria Hill still questioning the main Marvel Universe Avengers. And she wants to know, where were they 3 hours ago? Because she has reports that the Avengers had attacked New York. On top of that right there, she still has a dead body, a Hank Pym dead body on her table. She wants to know what in the world is going on. And that is when you have Iron Man say, everyone on the Avengers is in the clear. They were all somewhere else. On top of that, you have Iron Man say, look at what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a black and gold armor. Reports said that they saw Iron Man in his classic red and gold armor. That is completely different from what I'm wearing right now, meaning that there is some Iron Man from an alternate universe and we have no idea why they're here for. And so you do have Iron Man being able to use shield tech to figure out where in the world is this other Avengers team, and they all leave to go find that other Avengers team. But then we jump over to New York City, and the reason why, because we pick up with Bruce Banner. Now, this is not our Bruce Banner. No, this is the Bruce Banner that was brought here by AIM into the main Marvel universe. But of course, we also learned earlier that he was being mind controlled by that version of Ant-Man and the Wasp. There was something in his brain that basically forced him to turn into the Hulk. But when that device broke, he just walked away, and the Avengers couldn't stop him because then Ant-Man died. They had to leave. And so Bruce Banner, this alternate universe Bruce Banner, is trying to get to one of his panic rooms. The problem is, though, that same panic room that he had built in his universe was also built in this universe by the main Marvel universe Bruce Banner. And so when he reaches that panic room, he is confronted by the main Marvel universe Bruce Banner. So now we have two Hulks. Now, we actually do jump over to AIM Island. And the reason why, because we pick up with the Adaptoids. Now, the Adaptoids were originally made to follow the orders of AIM, but to also explore the multiverse. Well, here comes the big problem, though. Out of nowhere, they have gained the ability of self-aware. And so right now, these robots are rewriting their system to ignore AIM, but to also continue to explore the multiverse. And so now they are going to explore the multiverse on their own. And this is going to lead to more problems down the road. Now, we do jump over to the two Bruce Banners having a conversation. Now, this conversation is actually very important. And the reason why I say that is because it's us learning more about the other Bruce Banner from that alternate universe. And what he says right off the bat, that he is not as smart as the main Marvel Universe Bruce Banner. His panic room was really just a hiding room, and that is it. There were no advanced technology in that room. On top of that, he says, listen, when I turn into the Hulk, my Hulk is not angry. My Hulk is really more happy, more forgiving. And that makes sense because remember, this other Avengers group, they're just pure evil. And so with that, that means Bruce Banner from that universe, he is a sociopath. But on top of that, his Hulk is not. His Hulk is really more of happy, feels bad for the damage he does when he's out there fighting with the Avengers. Now, you do have the other Bruce Banner say, listen, they were able, the other Avengers team, to shut down my emotions. And then they would take turns in controlling me. And so anytime they need me to turn into the Hulk, they would basically use some kind of device that will release my anger and then turn me into the Hulk. And then they found a way to control the Hulk to make the Hulk do what they want him to do. Those are so many different reasons. But of course, this is also the moment you have our Bruce Banner learn that right now AIM is out there exploring the multiverse, because he asked the other Bruce Banner, how in the world did you get here? He said, a bunch of dudes in yellow suits brought me and my team here, and that's all I know. And right there, our Bruce knows that is AIM. And so now his goal is to figure out what in the world AIM is up to. Now we do get back over to AIM, and you have AIM right now talking about how you have both Avengers group fighting against each other, and that right there is huge. But of course, they're afraid. They're afraid that once the main Marvel Universe Avengers are able to capture the other Avengers group from that different universe, that means they're going to tell the main Marvel Universe Avengers that, hey, listen, we were brought here by some dudes in yellow suits, which means AIM. And that means AIM could possibly get a lot of heat that they don't want right now. And so they tell each other, we need to go out there, grab those other Avengers group and throw them back into their multiverse. And hopefully that would keep S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers off our butts for a little bit more longer. Now we do jump over to the fight between the two Avengers team, the main Marvel Universe Avengers and this alternate universe Avengers. They are fighting against each other. Now we do learn a little bit more information about this other Avengers team. Like for example, their Iron Man is not Tony Stark, it's actually Jarvis, which is kind of funny, but apparently in that universe, Jarvis just hated the Stark family, and so he killed Howard Stark and then killed Tony Stark when he was a baby. Also, Steve Rogers is not Captain America, he is General America, which is kind of weird. But anyways, the biggest difference is Thor, because on the other universe's Thor hammer, it has two R's, not one. It's spelled Thorr. And that right there is very important for later videos down the road. But either way, you do have the Avengers fighting against each other, but at the end of the day, the main Marvel Universe Avengers were able to win because 1, they're more skilled, 2, their tech is more advanced, and 3, they have been Avengers for a longer period of time. But either way, you have our Avengers being able to actually defeat the other Avengers group. But here comes the problem though. Out of nowhere, a Hulk appeared. A Hulk. Not both Hulks, just one. And we have no idea which Hulk it is. But of course, a Hulk appeared. And when this Hulk appeared, it punches the main Marvel Universe Thor. But out of nowhere, that is the moment you have AIM appear, and you have AIM put both Avengers group in some kind of time bubble. Now this time bubble is very important, and the reason why, because it gives AIM just long enough to grab the other alternate universe Avengers and to get out of there, because their goal is to make sure there is no way S.H.I.E.L.D. or anyone else can figure out what AIM is up to right now, which is exploring the multiverse. But either way, they do grab the other alternate universe Avengers and the Hulk as well. But again, we have no idea which Hulk it is. Is it the main Marvel Universe Hulk or the alternate universe Hulk? Again, we have no idea, but they were able to grab what they need and they left. But let's not forget about the Adaptoids, because remember, they had just rewrote their entire system, which is very huge, because now they're going to ignore the orders of AIM and just explore the multiverse on their own. But when they do, they are going to meet something or some group in the multiverse that could make things very worse for our Avengers and the rest of the multiverse. But then we get into the final chapter of this story, and honestly, it's probably the best part of this entire story, because that is the moment you have Bruce Banner meet up with Tony Stark, and when he does, Bruce Banner is angry. He is very angry for a lot of different reasons. But of course, there's one particular reason why he is angry. And that reason belongs to Tony Stark, because he walks into Tony Stark's office and he says, "Listen, Tony, I know everything." Now, you do have Tony kind of playing it off, because when it comes to Tony, he thinks that he is one of the top 3 smartest characters in the universe, but in reality, kind of like top 5, top 6, maybe top 10. But either way, though, you do have Tony Stark kind of playing it off like, "I have no idea what you're talking about, Bruce. What do you know?" And you have Bruce say, "I know what you and some friends of ours have been doing behind the scenes. And I figured it out when I was captured by AIM." Now that right there is very huge. Because remember, at the end of the last chapter, when the Avengers were fighting against the other universe Avengers, a Hulk appeared. A random Hulk appeared. We had no idea if that was the main Marvel Universe Hulk or if that was the alternate universe Hulk. But now we're coming to find out it was the main Marvel Universe Hulk. And that right there is very huge. And the reason why I say that, because when that Hulk appeared, AIM thought it was the other universe Hulk. They captured it and took it back to AIM Island. But right when AIM was sending the other Avengers team back to their alternate universe, you had our main Marvel universe continue to pretend that he was also part of that other Avengers team, where he began to question AIM, asking them why in the world they're doing this. Why in the world are they exploring the multiverse? And that is the moment he figured out. That is the moment you have AIM tell him the multiverse is dying. And so we're exploring the multiverse to see why it is dying, but also how to save it, but also take things from the multiverse to help us survive the death of the multiverse. And that right there is huge, because Bruce Banner had no idea the multiverse is dying. Only the Illuminati knew, and they thought it was probably the best not to tell the rest of the heroes about how the multiverse is dying. But now Bruce Banner knows that the multiverse is dying. And when he learns that, everything clicks in his mind and he begins to get angry. He gets so angry, he begins to wreak havoc across AIM Island. Now, you do have Bruce Banner tell Tony Stark, everything makes sense. Everything makes sense now, because he says when it came to the builders, the Avengers all left to go fight against the builders in space. But when it came to you, Tony, and Reed, T'Challa, you guys stayed here on Earth, and your reasoning was, oh, we're going to be here to protect the Earth just in case the Avengers fail. But in reality, you guys were working together to try to save the Earth from dying from the multiverse. But on top of that as well, he said, all the weapons that you have made recently, it's not just your handiwork, it's also Reed's handiwork, T'Challa's handiwork, Hank McCoy, and a tad bit of Black Bolt. But either way though, you have Bruce say, you guys have been making weapons as a way to save the multiverse or save our Earth from dying with the multiverse. Especially Soul's Hammer, that big, beautiful space station that's right near the sun. And originally you said it was a space station, but in reality, it's a weapon. It's a weapon to use the sun's energy as another way to save our Earth from dying with the multiverse. Now, there is a bigger reason why you have Bruce mad at Tony Stark. And the reason why, because a few years ago, when the Illuminati first came together, they all decided that Bruce Banner, the Hulk, was too dangerous to have on Earth, and so they shot him into space, and that began a big storyline known as Planet Hulk. Now, when he came back and he learned it was the Illuminati, that began World War Hulk. A big storyline right there. But either way though, he's mad because he figured out that the Illuminati, the same group, the same friends who sent him away, are once again back together, working in secret and not telling the rest of the heroes what is happening right now. The multiverse is dying. And you have Bruce kind of like, you should have told us. Or at least me, or other people of science. But either way, you guys still think that you are above all of us. In reality, you need our help. And Bruce is so close to turning into the Hulk and just smashing Tony. But of course, he's able to control it just a little bit. But either way, this is very huge. Now, if you're wondering what happened to the other Bruce Banner, because remember, he was not captured by AIM along with the other Avengers from that alternate universe. The Hulk that was captured was the main Marvel Universe Hulk. In reality, the fake one was still left inside the panic room, knocked out. And right now, you have Tony Stark escorting him into a prison cell. And the reason why, because right after the main Marvel Universe Hulk had left AIM Island, well, of course, Hulk went on another rampage. And so Maria Hill wants the Hulk locked up. But at the same time, with Bruce Banner now knowing what the Illuminati is doing, they gotta put somebody in that prison cell, and so they have a fake Hulk to throw into that prison cell, while the real Hulk is going to join the Illuminati. That right there is very huge to say. But we are still not done yet, because let's not forget about the Adaptoids. They were made originally by AIM to explore the multiverse, and they're doing that right now. The only problem is though, while exploring the multiverse, they do run into the map makers, and the map makers are one of the many threats in the multiverse. They're one of the many reasons why the multiverse is dying. But of course, with the map makers being mostly machine, or really they are just robots, you have the Adaptoids get an upgrade. These Adaptoids just become map makers. So now the map makers army just got bigger and better, with the Adaptoids joining the map makers. And this is where we are going to in today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoyed today's comic book video. Later, guys.